And the ironic thing is, those who don't watch this video, those who don't happen to stumble across this content, would tell you that it's not possible, would tell you that this stuff doesn't work. Those are going to be the same people that are coming to you asking you how you did it. These basic steps, these simple steps, are what's going to determine who can build a following very quickly and who's just going to complain about it and say it's not possible. All right, hey guys, I want to start this video off a little bit differently because it's been brought to my attention recently that you guys want more of the meat and potatoes from the marketing side of things and not just motivational, inspirational, and perspective-based videos, which I couldn't agree with more because at the end of the day, I am a marketing specialist that niches in music and have over 10 years experience in both industries, both fields, whatever you want to call it. Now, before I can bring that value to you, I got to start off with my intro. So in 3, 2, 1, proven marketing tips and strategies and techniques to help you transform that passion of making music into a legitimate business that's going to provide you with freedom and fulfillment. Two of the most important things to any successful life. Now, one of the questions that you guys have been asking me time and time again, let me adjust my glasses here, is how to gain a fan base, how to grow a following. And that's something that I want to wrap up into one power-packed episode here, one power-packed video, and I'm going to do you one better. How to gain 1,000 followers, 1,000 fans, get this, in 90 days. So without further ado, let me jump into teaching. All right, guys, so as you can see, I set up the easel in my studio, testing something out, see if you guys like it. Let me know in the comments below. What I want to do is I want to teach you guys how to make 1,000 new fans, 1,000 new followers. I'm going to write this down. New fans. 1,000 new fans and 1,000 new followers in 90 days. Now, this video is not going to be overly complicated because doing this isn't overly complicated. Now, what does this break down to? So 1,000 new fans in 90 days actually breaks down to this. Breaks down to 84 people a week or 12 people a day. Now that's on average, right? So we're not going to worry about the momentum just being 12, just being 84 immediately. But if you break down this 1,000 mark into a more easily palatable number such as 12, we're just worrying about that per day. But on averages, this doesn't have to be 12 a day. This could be 4 one day, the next day 16. You understand what I'm saying? What we need to do is we really need to rather focus on the 84 number per week gross as it builds momentum. So when you start off, it might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 5. But after a while, it's going to gain more than 12 a day, therefore averaging that 12 a day to reach that 84 number. Now, I'm ruining this frickin' piece of paper, so let me get a new one. So, as we said, 84 people a week. Is that on one platform or more? This is the question that you need to ask yourself, because if you're worried about getting those followers, those fans over to one platform, it might be a different strategy. For instance, if we want to get 1,000 new fans, 1,000 new followers over on Instagram, get a new piece of paper for this. We're going to work on the law of averages. I don't know if it's really a law, but what we're going to do, let's say for Instagram, in 90. So we're going for 1,000 new people in 90 days. What would we want to do on Instagram? So a breakdown of a strategy that I could use, that you could use over on Instagram, is by contacting people using hashtag research. So if we want to break this down into bare numbers here, all we're going to do is we're going to find 12 hashtags a day. And we're going to leave 10 comments / likes on each one of those 12. So overall, it's 120 interactions a day. And breaking this down from the marketing perspective, looking at the analytics, the metrics, we're going to have on average at least a 10% engagement rate. So if you have 120, what does that break down to? 10% 120, you're going to reach that 12 mark. Now, do you have to do this every day? Does it take some time? Of course it takes some time. What I want you to do is leave comments on Instagram in a conversational tone, not just 3 fire emojis and expect people to come rushing to see what's up. Now, the 10%, which would be the 12, isn't all the people that are going to come to you. There's going to be more, but the 12 on averages is 10%, which I'll put here, are people that are going to stick around, that are going to re-engage with you. Now, if you're lazy, this isn't going to happen. If you're lazy and you just want to do fire emojis, if you're lazy and you don't want to put in the time and effort to contact 120 people, okay, what do? If you don't have the time, oh, forgot the I. You need the money to do ads, to do promo. But if you don't have money to do ads and promo, you spend the time, which 120 a day, I find, takes about an hour. Takes about an hour and a half. You can do it while you're going to the bathroom, while you're waiting for your food to heat up in the microwave, if you're on a lunch break, before bed, after the shower, waiting for the water to warm up in the shower, like I just said, like taking your dogs out for a walk. You can do these, especially when you get the habit of it, get into the habit of it. It's going to become second nature. So 12 hashtags, 10 comments, 10 likes. This is going to make you engaged with people. This isn't the follow and follow thing, by the way. This is actually engaging with 12 hashtags that relate to what you're doing. Now, this can work for the bodybuilding sector or fitness. This could work for makeup. This could work for music. We're talking about music. If you look up hashtag producer, hashtag musician, hashtag songwriter, hashtag Instabeats, you're going to find the different, and we've already talked about that in a different video, which if you haven't yet, check out my Instagram playlist, I guess, here over on YouTube. But what we're trying to do, guys, is we're trying to get 4, and then 6, and then 16, and then 25, and then 50 new people a day that are going to interact and engage with your content to reach that 12, and then ultimately, I didn't write it on here, reach that 84 per week. That's going to add up to 1,000 people in 90 days. Now, I'll put it this way. Now, I'm going a little fast because I don't want you guys to get bored. Now, the same goes for LinkedIn. The same goes for YouTube. The same goes for Facebook. As I mentioned earlier, do you want this on one platform or do you want it on 3 platforms, right? Now, this is marketing. This is marketing. So if it's a little bit boring, bear with me. Now, one platform, we talked about Instagram. 3 platforms, could be IG, could be YouTube, could be Facebook. So if you're working on IG and you're just trying to get 1,000 people in 90 days, like I said, that's 12, 84, 1,000. But if we're talking about 3 different platforms, we're talking about a much lower number. This one could be 4 a day. This one could be 6 a day. This one could be, what would that be? 2. Basic math, quick math. All of these equal 1,000. That's where you really have to understand that 1,000 true fans, 1,000 true followers don't have to be on one platform. If you have all of these people engaged, no different than you guys, my channel family, right? I have 90-something thousand subscribers over here. I have another 30,000-something subscribers over, or followers over on Instagram. All you matter. All of you matter. I'm not worried about getting 100,000 on Instagram, 100,000 on Facebook, 100,000 on YouTube. I'm worried about all of it collectively. They accumulate. And every single one of your platforms is going to be for a different thing. YouTube can drive a certain customer. Instagram can drive a certain fan, right? Kevin Kelly, his thesis was 1,000 true fans, and you can look it up. I'm going to have a link for his thesis in the description box below. You probably have already heard about it. 1,000 true fans. So 1,000 true fans really breaks down to, if you have 1,000 people that are willing to give you $100 over the course of a year, you have a 6-figure income. Now, obviously, that's oversimplifying things, and I'm not trying to oversimplify any of this. I'm trying to break down real-life teaching, real-life strategy that you guys can start and put into play right away. Now, this is the thing. This is the reason that a lot of you guys aren't actually going to get to this number. Let me get a clean page for this. You're not going to get to this number, therefore, you're not going to get to this number. And I'm not really sure if that's what that means, but you're not going to get to this number unless you reach 90. Now, what am I saying? A lot of you guys are going to put in the effort for 6 days. Good. Everyone's happy. Then after 20 days, it's going to be meh. Right? And after 60 days, you're going to, I'm not going to do that. You're going to quit. Now, this is the issue in most of you guys' journey, period. I could teach marketing till I'm blue in the face. I could probably put a color grade on to make my face look blue right now, but I'm not going to. Because this is what you guys need to understand. What is this? Easy. What is this? Consistency. What is that? Dedication. Most of you guys do not have the dedication to do anything consistently for 60 days, let alone 20. So if you could do this for 90 days, I'm convinced, and I do it myself, and I've done it myself for a while. I know I'm probably yelling. But you can make 1,000 new fans, 1,000 new followers in 90 days. Now, how would you do this over on Facebook? Well, you can do consistent posts every single day. And you know what? I'm gonna do this for YouTube and Facebook. So YouTube, can't spell apparently, and Facebook. By now you should know what FB stands for. So what would you do on a weekly basis to reach 84 people? First and foremost, look at these 84 people, as human beings. If you do not engage with these 84 people, you're not going to be able to really build a fan base because they're going to understand that you're just trying to game the system and gain numbers. Now, what are like 5 different things that people will engage with you for? I would say this. So number 1, you're interesting. That's how they're going to engage with you. And this actually goes for IG as well. This goes for anything. Anything. 5 things why people would engage with you. Because you're interesting. You got great music. You have a cause that they care about. You got a great personality. Number 5. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Either you're interesting, you got great music, you have a cause that they believe in, your personality draws them in, or you can educate or inspire them. That's 5 reasons that people are going to be able to engage with you. That's 5 reasons that they're going to be able to interact and follow you. If you don't have any of these 5 things, if these are lacking, this is what you need to work on first. Need to be interesting of some sort. Need to have great music. Good music at the very least. You need to have a cause. Good cause. That they believe in. Got to have a personality that they can resonate with. Maybe you educate or inspire. If you do none of these things, it's going to be really, really hard to build a following. Now, I know that this is a completely different style of video, probably a little less professional. But let me tell you, this is how I built my following. This is how my students build their following. This is how you can build a following. But if you can't do this, good luck with you. On to the next thing. So in your journey for 1,000 people, you need to interact. How do you interact? You ask them about them. You ask them about what they're working on. You interact. You don't just say, listen to my music. You don't just say, follow me. You should follow me. None of that, right? 1,000 people in 90 days is a feat. It's something to be really, really proud of. But you guys need to worry about it one step at a time. So every single day, ask yourself this. What kind of value did I put out? Every single day. Ask what kind of content you put out. Every single day. How much effort did you put out? If you have value, if you have content, and if you put in effort with a little bit of humility, 1,000 people in 90 days is not the hardest thing to do in the world. Now, when you put the content out, you want it to be interactive, right? When you put out a post, when you put out a comment, when you put out a video, you want it to be consistent. You want to have that hard work that I talk about in other videos. That's not what this video is about. But you want to do it in a conversational way to get people to engage. Here's a great example. If I put up a picture of me standing with my girlfriend and my 2 dogs, our 2 dogs, and I say, family, that's going to get a certain amount of engagement. That's going to get a certain amount of likes and comments and interaction and even some follows. Because somebody might have a emotional trigger to the view of a family, the view of a happy couple, the view of a dog lovers. Everybody has their own reasons, right? But if you say something in the comments or the content of it, the caption rather of, I've had these dogs in my life for, a collective of 10 years. My girl has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I'd love to hear what the best thing that's ever happened to you and your family, or what your ideal family looks like. What are your family goals? And I'm just brainstorming off the top of my head. I'm not writing any copy, but you get what I'm saying. There's a big difference between hashtag family life and something that's interactive, something that's conversational to get you guys to comment, to get you guys to really engage. And the greatest thing that you could ever do for an algorithm is interact. So over on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, it happens pretty universally when it comes to these different social platforms, these different content platforms, even on some blogs, is that first 24 hours, that first hour over on Instagram. What are you doing to drive the conversation? When you can have a conversational caption that's going to drive engagement, that's going to show your posts to more people, it's going to boost you up in discovery when it comes to that hashtag strategy that we talked about in other posts or in other videos. It's going to be able to drive. Right now, I'm averaging 60 to 70 new people on Instagram completely organically. And that's with me doing everything else that I'm doing a little bit half-assed. And I know that even I can get way, way up there. Now, 50 or 60 people is what? 5, 6 times the 12? So you can do basic numbers. I want you to be able to go from 0 to 1,000 in 90 days. But you got to put in the work. You need to follow some of these strategies. You need to be creative. Do it your own. Do it your own way to make sure that your voice reigns through or shines through, because at the end of the day, nobody can be you and your uniqueness, your own personality, what makes you special, what you might think is your weakness can make, you stand out from the crowd. I want you guys to be able to understand that these techniques, these questions that I pose to you, you need to be able to answer them. You need to be able to understand if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to put it in, if you're willing to get through those days where it seems really discouraging, where you might not have any followers, you might have a couple unfollowers. But that consistency is what builds that muscle, right? That consistency is what builds that momentum, that progress, as I talk about in other videos. So this is the basics of how to go from 0 to 1,000 fans, 0 to 1,000 different followers in 90 days. If you already have followers, if you already have a fan base, you might be able to do it much more rapidly. But this, hopefully, will get you on your way. Now, I need your help, guys. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of this video. Did you like the style, the format? Was it an effective education tool for you? Did you find value? I want to hear about it in the comments below. Now,